Hello, everyone. It's Operator Juno. I know I haven't uploaded in a few days. I've been busy with schoolwork. I've been busy with life stuff. Don't worry, I will be uploading and finishing The Lord of the Rings. If you're wondering why that last Lord of the Rings video got cut off abruptly, because needless to say, I got a little pissed, and I figured it wasn't professional for me to post it. So, at least all of it. Don't worry, I will finish it. I'm almost there anyway. And same thing with Homeworld. I'm going to finish that. If you got a suggestion of what I should or shouldn't play, by all means, let me know. But that's not why I'm here. If you've seen the title, you know I'm furious, to say the least, because I spent 2 hours of my life that could have been spent doing anything else. I could have spent 2 hours doing homework. I could have spent 2 hours cleaning my house. I could have spent 2 hours writing my books, 2 hours recording new videos. I could have spent 2 hours reading a book, and I would have been inexorably more fulfilled than whatever the fuck I watched. It's so poorly written. It's why I'm showing my face to you on camera, because I'm I'm telling you, do not waste your time with this show. It's that bad. And I'm not saying this because of any, forced diversity or whatever you want to call it. Just from the writing perspective, it's bad. But then we're including characters, we're including character motivations, we're including costume design. Believe me, that throws me for a loop. The excessive amount of CGI. It's so bad that I would have preferred to just eat rocks than watch this. I wrote down a few talking points, and the biggest one I want to start with is the costume design. This is a fantasy world, okay? There has to be some. I get it, it's fantasy. You can make it up, you can do whatever you want. Except this is Lord of the Rings. This is not some generic fantasy. Speaking of, if it was just a generic fantasy, I would have no problem with this. Because on that merit alone, it's perfectly okay as a generic fantasy, not as a Lord of the Rings story. It's exceptionally bad in that case. But with costume design, the main thing you want to take away from is some utilitarianism, I can't speak, and some practicality. Every single costume, aside from maybe like one or two, and it was just some peasants, doesn't make any sense at all. You have dwarves dressed in this regal clothing. Speaking of dwarves, I'll get to that. You have elves who, I get it, they're elves. And it makes sense for them to dress the way they do in their home. But even still, you have, take example for Legolas. He dressed, practically in a world where he was traveling a lot. For example, you have Elrond and Calibrimbore, two characters who I have a lot of problems with, dressed in this like magnificent clothing, going from Eregion to Khazad-dûm, which, if you're not familiar with the map of Lord of the Rings, that's quite a distance. A significant distance on foot with no horses. And they're dressed not at all for travel. That just takes me out of it. The Harfoots are they're discount hobbits. It's awful. You have the Elven Warriors. How can you not? You could probably go to one of the sets in Hollywood, to one of the many like costume designers, and say, "Hey, get me some realistic elven armor." In fact, they had that in the Two Towers. Even in the first movie, for like 5 minutes, they had realistic elven armor. It was practical, it looked okay, and it was elvish in design, just from looking at it. The armor that Galadriel wears looks like something you could have made out of a cardboard set. It's bad. Where the fuck's the chainmail? Where's anything? Speaking of Galadriel, the very first line, not even the very first line, it was within the first 5 minutes of the first episode. I watched both of them, and I regret every minute of it. Do you know why a ship floats but a stone does not? Who the fuck wrote that? Who penned that down, looked at it, smiled with this fake-ass pride and said, yeah, that looks okay. Yeah, I like that. Let's approve it. And nobody stopped them. At all. It's so fucking cringe. And that's not the only line. There are several different lines. There's at one point where Galadriel's at sea. She's lost at sea. Because of a stupid fucking reason. And, one point, they pull her hair to the side and they say, elf. Liar. What lie? She never told a lie. Like, what the fuck? The dialogue was written by someone who doesn't understand natural dialogue. Everything feels stilted. Everything feels wrong. You know how when you talk to your friends, how that conversation flows? That's how it's supposed to feel like. Now, granted, it's Lord of the Rings. You're supposed to have some suspension of disbelief. Excuse me. And there is a way of... Jesus Christ. There is some way of talking. And it's not that. It feels too modern, if that makes sense. This is a fantasy realm, okay? Everybody should be talking kind of like a certain way, a certain aspect. The way that Tolkien wrote it. If you watched any Lord of the Rings movie, even the Hobbit series, which really didn't need to be made in 3 movies, but whatever. They talk a certain way, and it feels natural. This doesn't. It feels too modern, and I don't like it at all. What else? What else did I write down? That Galadriel wasn't a warrior. She wasn't. She wasn't a warrior in the typical dressed in armor and run into battle type thing. That wasn't what she did. And I know there's somebody's gonna link me that stupid fucking image that says, well, she was a warrior. No, the fuck she wasn't. Not in the sense that you're thinking of. She wasn't a warrior princess who ran off. Her husband did that. And he was really fucking good at it. She was a sorceress. She could fight in a way that a sorceress does by casting massive spells that drain her energy. She was this wise, mystical sorceress. Not whatever the fuck you think she is. And it bothers me so much that they're trying to make her the strong female character. Why? Motherfucker, we have Éowyn. And Éowyn was a strong female character. She didn't take any validation. None at all. And guess what? She was properly written. How can you not do that? She didn't ride off into battle. She didn't carry a sword. She didn't dress in armor. It was not her. And the fuckers at Amazon don't understand that. Next point. Oh, right. She can do no wrong either. Oh. Oh, boy. She can't do any wrong. Not according to Amazon. We're in this frozen wasteland. This is in the first 20 minutes. First 15. We're in this frozen wasteland. And we need to turn back. This is too much. And she's like, no. Or, you disobeyed an order from the High King. Fuck you, I was right. And I hate that she's validated for it, because you can be wrong. That's what makes a character great. They can be wrong. They try and make her off as to be the strong female character who is just so... This is not the Galadriel that you know from the books. This is not the Galadriel that you know from the movies. This is not the Galadriel that you know from the Silmarillion. Motherfucker. I have it. Right there. The Silmarillion. How can you... You have literally the entire source material, and you can't fucking use it. I understand Amazon has a limited amount of rights, but Jesus fucking Christ, you guys are just... You can tell how heated I am about this. That's how bad it is. Let's see. Harfoots. Yes, they are a thing in the Silmarillion. But not in the way that they are described. They aren't even mentioned in the Second Age. It's the Third Age is when they were really a thing, and even then, they mixed in with the Hobbits and then one other that I can't think of off the top of my head. They look like meth heads who just came out of a several-day binge. How? Their Same thing with costume design. It don't make sense. At all. It's bad. It's fucking terrible. Let's see. What else have I written down that I'm like, what the fuck? Elrond Calibrimbore. If you've... Tolkien described them as fair skin, long hair. There's only one character, one male character that has long hair, and that's King Gilgalad. And Celebrimbor was the one who made the rings. How? Just don't. Do yourself a favor, don't watch this. Just don't. Do anything else with your life. Oh. That reminds me, going away from the elves, the dwarves. Why are they wearing all this regal clothing? Why are there dwarven women who have beards? It's literally quoted that they have beards and they look like men. Like dwarven men. They have beards. Even in the fucking movie, The Two Towers, Gimli mentioned that they have beards. If you can't even get that right, I'm not even going to talk about Disa, this disgrace of a character. The main thing you should take away from all of this is this. Do something better with your time. Don't watch it. Read a book. Go to the gym. Do anything else. Anything that's not sitting down in front of your TV or your computer or your phone or whatever you're going to watch this on. You want a better show on Amazon? Watch The Terminal List. I fully endorse that. That's a great show. Don't watch The Rings of Power. Please. That's all I'm asking. Thank you.